Welcome to chapter 7 of the book of Joshua. Achan's trespass. Achan is a name the King James gave this person. And it begins, the sons of Israel trespassed, a trespass, and pilfered from the offering for consumption. Now, it has a plural, the sons of Israel trespassed, but basically it's only this one man that we know of. So it shows how God looks at sin and how sin can affect more than just the person that has done the trespass. Here it's affected the whole community of the sons of Israel. And I believe the same thing can happen if you have a sin condition, and it could be somebody in a family, father, son, mother, daughter, anyone basically. The sin can affect other people in that family. And so here it says, God says, or whoever wrote this, the sons of Israel trespassed in the plural, even though it was one person. And it says here, and Achan took, and then parenthetical statement, and then from the offering of consumption. And he's the son of Harmi, son of Zavdi, son of Zerah, from out of the tribe of Judah. Philis of Phylum is a derivative word here. And anathema is an offering of consumption, something that is to be used for another purpose than what you would normally think it might be. And it would be burnt up as an offering to God, something that was dedicated, or somehow the order was given to destroy everything, it to be consumed. God has ordered the people to do this, which was the case with the city that we'll find all about here. And the anger of the Lord was enraged with the sons of Israel. So God was enraged with the sons of Israel. He took it out on all of them. And sometimes it can be a country. I look at in my lifetime, Nazi Germany, how the one person that led the people into destruction to where Germany was defeated and completely destroyed, and took many decades to rebuild it. So the Lord was enraged. Now, if all kinds of things are going bad, I don't necessarily think that means that the Lord is enraged with you, because the devil puts a lot of things in our path which may be similar, that things are happening that are bad. So, I mean, if you lost, like Job, the perfect example, he lost all sorts of things, all of his wealth and health, but yet Job was a righteous person. So here we can see the dichotomy of the two, one with a man who did do bad things and the rage of God, and another person, what would appear to be the rage of God was not the rage of God, but it was something that happened to him that happens to all kinds of people. All of us go through trials and tribulations like Job did in losing fortunes or deaths in the family and so forth. It doesn't mean that God is angry. But here we have the other instance where God is angry, and it says, and Jesus, again, Jesus in the New Testament, and it says Joshua for the Greek word in the New Testament, but it's Jesus, sent men from Jericho unto Gai, Now, he doesn't know yet that anything has happened, that this man Achan took things from the destruction of Jericho for himself, but he'll find out soon here that something is up. And it mentions Ai, which is by Bethaven, according to the east of Bethel. And then we can go to the map up here. And here we can see as they went across Jericho, and then comes Ai, and east of Bethel. Bethel is here. And he spoke to them, saying, that is Jesus, in ascending, survey the land, check it all out, keep on going out, and they did, and the men ascended and surveyed. In the Greek, it's gay. And they returned to Esun and said to him, do not let all the people ascend, but about 2,000 or 3,000 men. Let them ascend, and let them capture the city. You should not lead there all the people, for they are few. And ascended from the people there about 3,000 men, and they fled from the face of the men of Ai, or gay. So the people that went and looked at us, a small town, it's not going to be easy. 2,000 or 3,000 soldiers going against it. We can take it. And so they did, but 3,000. But yet says they fled from the face of the men of Ai, gay. And I'll just call it from now on Ai in the English. The men of Ai killed of them about 36 men. And they, men of Ai, pursued them from the gate until they defeated them. And they struck them by the incline. So apparently it was a hill that maybe Ai was on, as most of the towns were. And the heart of the people, the Jews, was terrified, and it became as water. They were just giving up. This is just terrible. How can this be happening? We're supposed to go in and take the land, conquer it all, and the second thing that we come against, we're defeated. And they were just disheartened. What do we do? They didn't know what was going on. So it's a lot of things that goes on in the world, and we at the bottom of the ladder rung don't know what's going on up at the top. Presidents or senators and dictators or legislative bodies of various sorts in your countries, and don't know what's going on at the very top. And so they can be doing something really terrible and will affect you, affect me. So Jesus tore his garments, his mad rips them apart, and he fell upon his face upon the ground or the earth. Geology comes from that. Could be either ground or earth. Before the ark of the Lord. So he went there in the tabernacle to the ark, and he's there laying on the ground, complaining, crying out, and all sorts of things to God. He and the presbytery of Israel. The Presbyterians I mentioned comes from that. Elders, a church built around elders. And they put dust upon their heads, and this is what these people did when they were serious about either asking something from God or a forgiveness or some sort. They would put dust on their head, and they would put on sackcloth, a rough cloth that's real itchy, scratchy, and uncomfortable that they would wear, and so that they showed that this is something that going to God is, they really mean it, because it's not just like, I'm going to sleep, now I lay me down to sleep, saying something, and yeah, you've prayed, but it's like, well, you kind of do it repetitiously, maybe not all the time, but sometimes. But this here makes it completely different. If you went and you needed something from God, direction or whatever, and you could just say, now I lay me down to sleep. But if you put on this sackcloth, I should have brought some up. I used to send the Bibles out in what's called burlap sackcloth. It's real rough. The stuff sheds all over, so I switched over to canvas, which is way, way better. So when you're laying there, and it really means that whatever you're asking gives it a little extra impetus. And Jesus said, I beseech, O Lord, O Lord. Here it's interesting. We see Kyrie, Kyrie, and I have the O small Lord and the capital L-O-R-D. Now, the capital L-O-R-D means it's the tetragrammaton, and I have talk about that in depth at the introduction to the book of Joshua. And so the title or name, Kyrie, and then another Kyrie, O Lord, and this would be like a master, a Lord. In this case here, I call it Lord. Both of them are Lord. Why, in causing to pass over the Jordan, was your servant caused to pass over this people, the Jordan, to deliver it to the Amorite, to destroy us? Is that why we came across, to be destroyed? And if we stayed and were settled by the Jordan, what is it to me, O Lord? And what shall I say when Israel turned the back of the neck before its enemy? What's going on? They ran from the enemy. And the people are going to know about this, Lord. They're going to hear about it all over the country, and it's going to make it worse for us. And he continues, in hearing, the Canaanite and all the ones dwelling the land shall surround us, and shall obliterate us from the land. And what will you do for your great name? Your name is tied to these people, us, the Jews. What are you going to do about it? Your name is going to be held in a disrespect. And Kyrios said to Ease soon, it should be yellow highlighted, rise up. Why do you do this? Fall upon your face. The people have sinned and violated my covenant, which I ordained with it. For even they took from the offering of consumption, and stealing they lie, and they put the items for themselves. Now, there's plural, it could be the family, we'll find out. And the sons of Israel in no way will be able to stand in front of its enemies. That's the way it's going to be. They shall turn the back of the neck before their enemies, for they were become an offering for consumption. So basically, by not doing what they're supposed to do, the Jews, the sons of Israel, will become the offering for consumption themselves and destroyed. I will not add any longer to be with you, if you should not lift away the offering for consumption from among you of them. Whoa, what's this all about? Jesus and Joshua is saying, what's he talking about? And then he continues, in rising up, purify the people, and tell them to be sanctified for tomorrow. So here, the people, the remedy that God has first was to purify the people. And so it's not just feeling bad or you have done something wrong, but it's to purify yourself, to not do the thing that is causing the problem, the sin. Otherwise, can we be an offering for consumption? If we are living in sin and we are doing things wrong, could God be taking this out on us, our children? Well, it's a possibility, but fortunately, we have Jesus who came and basically said that he offers the forgiveness of sins. And Peter says, well, how many times should we forgive somebody that sins against us? Once, 5 times? And Jesus told him that, I forgot exactly how he said it, but 1,000 times, basically daily, all the time. So we have the forgiveness of Jesus Christ. Now, if somebody in the family is doing something that is wrong and that is causing something bad to happen, then I would suppose the best thing you could do, and I could do, would be to question God in prayer and ask Him to show you what is the cause for things not going better. Is it because of something that we are doing? Or is it a test from the devil, like Job? And then God says, the offering devoted for consumption is among you, O Israel. You shall not be able to withstand before your enemies until whenever the offering for consumption should be lifted away from you. So the purification, and it's not just a belief, but it's actually doing something, purifying yourself, of getting rid of the dross, the bad things that are among you, whatever could be. Could be a person that is causing all sorts of problems. And now it could be a wife, it could be a husband, it could be children, could be parents, all sorts of possibility. And if they were the cause, then I would separate from them. I'm not saying you should get a divorce, but I'd separate from something that is causing something really bad to happen to you or to the rest of your family. Not an easy thing to do, of course, but it wasn't easy here either, as we find out. And you shall gather together all in the morning according to your tribes, God says. And it will be to the tribe whichever the Lord shows that you shall lead forward according to Demus, people's demography, demographics, better word. And the Vimon, people whichever the Lord shows, you shall lead forward according to the Econ, house, economy comes from that word. And the house, whichever the Lord shows, by Andra, you shall lead forward. By man, android, comes from that word. And whoever should be pointed out in the offering for consumption, he shall be burnt by the fire, he and all as much as is his, for he violated the covenant of the Lord, and that he committed a violation of the law in Israel. Now, all that was his is that animals or the property are actually people, also people. We'll find out. And Jesus rose early in the morning, and he led the people forward by its tribe. So probably took the 12 tribes and somebody from each tribe. And the tribe of Judah was made manifest. They had the Urim and the Thummim, which some type of objects that they could use, the high priest could use to find out what God has chosen. He wore it on the breastplate. I'm not sure if it was on the breastplate, but it was on the high priest. And the Zarahite people were made manifest. And he led forward the Zarahite people according to Andra. Excuse me. And Zabdi was made manifest. And he led forward his house by man and was made manifest. Now here we have Akar. Akan, it was earlier in Akar. So I'm not exactly sure why there's two of them, and I'll have to check this out and go through the different sources that I have in the printed editions and find out if this is just a different spelling of the same name, like Jesus and Esun, or if this is one of these are incorrect or whatever. So anyway, this man was made manifest, who was the son of Harmi, son of Zabdi, son of Zerah, the tribe of Judah. And so now we have Achar again. So I'm thinking that was the correct name in the Greek. And Joshua said to Achar, O my son, today give indeed doxan, glory to the Lord God of Israel. Doxology, the glory in the liturgy, and make to him the acknowledgement, and announce to me what you did, and you should not hide it from me. And there's the alpha, gamma, gamma I've mentioned before. It has to do with a messenger, an angel as an angelon, announce to me, and you should not hide it. Crypsis, a crypt. And Achar answered to EC. Now here we have the dative, and we have the Omicron iota, and it seems like in the last chapter we had the dative with the toe in E soon. So again, I'm going to have to check this out and find out why the difference is in the two. And he said, Truly I sinned before the Lord, Kyriou, God of Israel. Well, so-and-so I've done, tells him what he did. I beheld in the spoils, standing bare by itself, one goodly colored robe, and 200 double drachmas of silver, argyriou, and one wedge of gold. Here we have a glosan. The glosa is a tongue. There's a tongue. So a wedge, it was a piece of gold that looked like a tongue of some sort. It was 50 double drachmas was its scale weight, probably worth a lot of money. And I coveted them, and I took. And behold, these are hid in the ground in my tent, and the silver is hid underneath them. And Esau sent angelus. See, here's the alpha, gamma, gamma, as messengers. And they ran into the tent in the camp. And these were being hid in his tent, and the silver underneath them. And they brought them from out of the tent, and brought them to Esau, and to all the elders of Israel. So all these gold bars, and the silver, and the robe, and they put them before the Lord. Some there probably by the tabernacle. And Esau took Achar, son of Zerah, and the silver and the robe, and the gold wedge, and his sons and his daughters, and his calves, and his beasts of burden, and his sheep, and his tent, and all his possessions, and all Israel with him, and they led them into Emekakor. So apparently it was the whole family. Now they may have been involved in knowing, so God is going to take care of these people. And Esau said, Why did you annihilate us for the Lord to utterly destroy you even today? So all these 36 people were killed because of the sin of Achar. And he says, and stoned him. All Israel stoned him with stones. So they stoned him to death, and they burned them in fire, as God tells them to do. And even they stoned them by stones. That's how they were killed, and then they were burnt up. And they said over him, well, see, now here it has him, so maybe it wasn't the family. It's hard to say. A heap of great stones until this day. And the Lord ceased the rage of anger. Therefore this is the name of it, Emekakor, unto this day. So all these Akor, the Emekakor is in the King James, I believe. Probably should be Akar. Well, it has a core here. It's the Omega. So therefore, it's there even unto this day, which again leads me to believe that this book was written fairly close to the time that this all happened, because it says this more than one place. It's still there today. And whoever wrote it, this is it. But the story's not done with Ai. The city, we'll find out what happens to that city in chapter 8. And hope you'll join us, continue going through the book of Joshua. Till then, God bless.